Have you ever wished your smart home was, just a little bit smarter? Or maybe you've got a weekend project that you wish could run on a battery for months, not just hours. Well, today we're going to look at a tiny piece of tech that could make all of that a reality. It's the Siege Studio XIAO ESP32-C5. And believe me, this little microcontroller is a total game changer for the Internet of Things.
Okay, let's be real. If you're like me, you've got a house full of smart devices. Lights, plugs, speakers, the whole shebang. And you might have noticed a little problem. Your 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, the one practically all those devices are on, is starting to feel like a rush hour traffic jam. And just like a real traffic jam, it slows everything down to a crawl. Well, allow me to introduce the solution to our digital traffic jam. This is the XIAO ESP32-5. It's one of the very first boards to use the new ESP32-C5 chip, and it is designed specifically to clear up that congestion. Don't let its size fool you. This tiny board packs a huge punch. So how exactly does it pull this off? It all comes down to its first killer feature, next-generation connectivity. And I'm not talking about some small incremental improvement here. This is a genuine leap forward into a faster, less crowded future for all of our connected gadgets.
The big secret is 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Think of the standard 2.4 gigahertz band like a single-lane, crowded city street. Everybody's on it, and it's full of interference from microwaves, Bluetooth, you name it. 5 gigahertz, on the other hand, that's like a brand-new, wide-open, multi-lane highway. It's faster, way less congested, and because the signal is more focused, you get way less interference from your neighbors' networks, too. It's a clean, fast connection.
But it's not just about 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This board is basically a universal translator for your smart home. I mean, look at this list. It supports Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth Low Energy, and it's even ready for the future with standards like Matter, Thread, and Zigbee. What that really means is, it can talk to almost any smart device out there, making it the perfect brain for a totally custom smart hub. Okay, so it's fast, but can it last? That brings us to the second major innovation here. It's power consumption. For any battery-powered project, I'm talking a remote weather station, a wearable tracker, anything like that. This is the holy grail. We are talking about battery life that can last for months or maybe even years on a single charge.
So how does it do that? The magic trick is a feature called deep sleep. This is the state where the board essentially shuts down almost everything, the main processor, the memory, all of it, except for a tiny little real-time clock. It just sips an impossibly small amount of power, waiting for the exact right moment to wake up, send its data, and then go right back to sleep.
And when you look at the numbers, they really speak for themselves. In active mode, when it's running full tilt, the board uses between 30 and 240 milliamps. But in deep sleep, that number absolutely plummets. We're not even talking about milliamps anymore. We're talking about microamps. That is 1,000 times less power. It's incredible.
Just let that sink in for a second. 10 to 100 microamps? That's such a tiny amount of power, it's hard to even wrap your head around it. It is literally the difference between a device you have to charge every few days and one you can set up and completely forget about for months on end.
So that's the theory. Sounds pretty great, right? But how does all this work in practice? Let's take a look at a simple yet super useful project you can build with this board, a pocket-sized dual-band Wi-Fi scanner.
And the best part? Look how easy this is to get started. All you need is the XIAO ESP32-C5 board itself, an antenna to get the best reception, and a super common, inexpensive little LCD screen. That's it. Seriously?
The wiring is just as straightforward. You just connect the power and ground, and then a few data pins so the board can send information to the LCD screen. There's no complex circuitry, no scary electronics. This makes it a great first project just to see the board in action.
And if you think the hardware was easy, the software side is even easier. The code is based on an existing example that's already out there, so you only need to change a single line to get it working on this specific board. Just one line. It's amazing. And the result is this fantastic little gadget. It scans and displays all the 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks in your area, and it even shows you their signal strength and what channels they're on. It's a genuinely powerful diagnostic tool that you can build yourself and carry right in your pocket. How cool is that?
Okay, so we've covered its next-gen connectivity and its incredible marathon battery life, but I have saved the single most disruptive, most revolutionary feature for last. This is the one that ties everything together and makes this little board such a big deal.
That feature is its price. This board, with all of these capabilities we've just talked about, costs less than $7.
So let's just recap. You're getting the complete package here. The speed and clarity of 5 GHz Wi-Fi, the versatility to connect with pretty much anything, and those ultra-low power modes for incredible battery life, all for less than the price of a fancy cup of coffee. That's just wild.
This really opens up a whole new world of possibilities. It puts these powerful, long-lasting IoT projects within reach of literally everyone, from hobbyists just starting out to seasoned professionals. Which really leaves us with one final exciting question. What will you create now that cost and battery life are no longer the biggest obstacles in your way?